Hello, my name is Allen Newberry, and today we are looking at the Central States Hammer-In. Now, the Central States Hammer-In is a hammer-in that travels between Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas, and this year it was at the shop of Billy Helton in Claremore, Oklahoma. We have had a great turnout, and it's been growing every year. At hammer-ins, you tend to have lots of demonstrations, and this one is no exception. We had demonstrations running the entire day, as well as we had knife judging, we had a cutting competition, and we have the knife show where you can look at everybody's stuff. And right here, you're seeing Brion Tomberlin quenching a W2 blade with clay on it in order to produce a hamon. He did a workshop on hamons. It was a great demonstration, and it's something that he is well known for. At this hammer-in, we run the demonstrations all day, and another one we have right here is Tad Lynch, and he is doing domed pins, and he is a master smith out of Benton, Arkansas. He is quite the talent. Then we have another master smith, Steve Culver, right here talking about kind of a novel method that he uses to make forges that are castable, and it's inside that steel shell, and it's very resistant to flux, which can damage a lot of forges, but this type of forge just kind of shrugs it off. There were other demonstrations as well by Ray Kirk, master smith out of Oklahoma and a well-known Forged in Fire contestant. We had some by Paul Brown and Gary Mulkey, and it was really quite the lineup of demonstrations. They even had one by me doing delft clay casting, so I had a lot of fun with that, but I never got around to filming it because, well, I was doing the actual demonstration. Here you can see some of the setup. We had a couple of large tents as well as quite a few individual pop-up tents for some of the larger suppliers, and we had quite a few supplies there. We had wood suppliers, micarta suppliers, ivory suppliers, just general knife making supply. It was pretty cool. Quite a few Forged in Fire contestants. I believe it was something like 14 contestants, and several of those were winners as well. So it was a great show if you're a big fan of the Forged in Fire show. There you can kind of see my table, but I had to get going because somebody started looking at the knives. Then here's some more shots from inside the tent that I was in. I didn't get very many good shots of the other tent. I was kind of just getting the footage while I was able to sneak away. And I was doing also some promotion for the show for next year, because next year I am going to be in charge of it, and it is coming to Arkansas. And so it'll be in Arkansas on September 12th of 2020. Right here we have the cutting competition there with Joe Smith running that. He's a big guy on the cutting competitions, and he loves them, and he's got a cool new business where people can make their own knives there in Branson, so he's an interesting guy. Here we have a little example of what they have where we're having the show next year, which is at Tired Iron of the Ozarks in Gentry, Arkansas, which is in between Gentry and Siloam Springs, really kind of close to the Oklahoma border, not that far from the Missouri border either. They have a ton of cool old hit-and-miss engines. They have tractors, as it is a tractor club, and this is at their fall show, and next year the Central States Hammer-In will be at their fall show. They have a large spread there, so they should be able to accommodate us just fine, and their show is free, and our show is free as well. The only people paying for our show are just the table holders, which helps us to be able to afford the tents and all that stuff. But I think the people who like the knives will love it, and the people who like the tractors will love it. So it's really great. They have a cool blacksmith shop there with some nice coal forges and a little giant power hammer, and Blacksmith Organization of Arkansas meets there as well. So I hope you guys can make it, because a lot of fun's going to be had at the Central States Hammer-In at the Tired Iron of the Ozarks on September 12th, 2020 in Gentry, Arkansas. Thanks.